I want to start this by saying that I don't think that anyone should go in the mountains by themselves. If anything goes wrong, you basically don't have anyone to have your back. That being said, I'm in Switzerland, about to solo a couple of 4,000 meter peaks. Let me explain what I'm doing in Switzerland. So, I was meant to be in Switzerland with a friend of mine this week, but due to some work commitments he had to cancel, and he canceled pretty much last minute. And it's unfortunate, but such is life. I pretty much had three options on the plate. I could have cancelled the trip, I could have asked someone to come with me, but I don't think that's fair on anyone since I would have asked someone in the last moment to do that. Or I could go and solo a mountain by myself.
The SBB train crew welcomes you on the Interregio to Geneva.
So pretty much I had to set my priorities straight. My main two priorities were not to cross a glacier by myself. My second priority was to try to do two mountains, preferably kind of in the same area. So with that being said, the last question was which mountains? We're in Visp. Safe to say it only took about 2 minutes for the ticket inspector to come and let me know that I was in the first class. I had to go into the second class, where if I'm gonna be honest, I was a little bit too self-conscious to film. So here we are at the last station of the train. That same evening I went on Reddit to check some of the mountaineering communities, and I noticed that there was a person that asked if there are any 4,000 meter mountains in Switzerland that can be done without crossing a glacier. Then a few people replied. Someone said the Matterhorn, lol, but someone suggested the Lagginhorn and the Weissmies, which is an interesting idea. So I did a bit of research on both of them, and sure enough, both of them are close to each other, and only Lagginhorn has a glacier, but it's more one of those like snow slopes that has a lot of debris on it and less crevassed than I was expecting it to be. We got ourselves a plan, YouTube mountaineers. We're in Saas-Grund today. Today's mission is to head up to the Weissmies hut. But the actual mountain that we're gonna go for is gonna be the Lagginhorn. The Weissmies hut serves the Lagginhorn mountain. You can also access the Weissmies from there. It would be quite difficult to find the way up to the hut from here if I wasn't using a GPS, because the main way to get up there is gonna be through the cable cars. These are the type of accurate, well described signs that I have to deal with at the moment. Ah yes, I see. So I either can walk or walk. I gotta say, I don't think that I ever had a solo trip that when I started it, I didn't feel a little bit out of place or nervous. Just like always a weird feeling when you begin. It's probably that fear of the unknown. But the moment you start, like today, just getting up to this path, everything goes away and you just feel completely focused. And I love that feeling. It forces you to be more social, independent, and use your head. Yeah, I think that's one of the great things about doing stuff like this as all by yourself. să te și spart sau nu mai picat ca tuta? I was on the phone to Viv for the last 10 minutes, so I didn't film, but I actually saw the first sign going for the Weissmies hut. Finally confirmation that we're going the right way. More importantly, we can see tomorrow's objective, which is the Lagginhorn. Let me show you. There's that beauty up there, that rocky mountain. All of it is pretty much black rock. Is known for having black brittle rock, so you don't really have any climbs on any of its like steeper faces like you do with other mountains, because it's just too brittle to do it. And what we're doing is it's West Ridge. Also, speaking of Viv, she was taking the piss out of me in the last few days, out of what I imagine was a little bit of envy because she couldn't come. She was like, "Oh, what you gonna do by yourself there, Chris? Are you gonna film yourself walking and then running back to the camera and then walking back to the camera?" It's exactly what I'm gonna do, Viv. Oh, also, going back to the camera isn't the worst thing. It's going back to the camera and realizing that you didn't press play in the first place. That's the worst thing. That's the Weissmies hut perched up there, like Dracula's castle. Got to the Weissmies hut. Check it out. So that little hut there is where I'm gonna be sleeping. I guess this is the main hut. And this is where I'm gonna have lunch. Sick view of the Mischabel group. Walking up a little bit more of the path that I'm gonna have to do tomorrow, because I'm leaving at torchlight. So I just want to get a sense of where I'm gonna be when it's gonna be dark, just to make sure that I'm taking the right way. It's also easier to do it with a mini backpack than it is to do it with a huge backpack. I'm also going up a little bit further today because it helps with acclimatizing. Even if I go 500 more meters today, it's gonna help me a little bit more when I do it tomorrow. Because tomorrow from the hut to the summit are about 1,300 meters of elevation, and I'd just rather be a little bit more acclimatized. If I get to Weissmies in the next couple of days, that one should be easier, just because it's going to be easier to breathe. But tomorrow, I'm just expecting in the last 400 meters, I'm going to have a little bit of a headache, and it might be a little bit of a slog to get up there. But it's nothing that a few ibuprofens can't sort out, isn't it? I'm getting close to the glacier now, the beginning of the glacier slash the mud field. Came here in sneakers because there's only our good friend Scree. I did quite a bit of elevation already, so where you see that path zigzagging there, I came from there. We're technically actually I came from down there in the valley. If I'm gonna boast a little bit, that is. I don't know if you hear that, but there's rockfall up there somewhere. And there are also a bunch of people that are literally just crossing the glacier as that's going down. Full moon, first steps out of the hut, completely by myself. It's a clear night. I think it's gonna be a great sunrise. I'm on this path on the ridge right now. I changed my route that I planned, the one that I went up yesterday. But once it gets a bit more light, I'll explain why I changed it. But right now I just want to get to the start of the main ridgeline. Slowly getting daylight, and I'm following my good friends the Kerns. Oh my god, check out the moon behind Dom on the other side. Whoa, that is insane. In the Alps they call that alpenglow, when the first sun hits the rocks, the mountain becomes slightly reddish, and that's alpenglow. That's the glacier, the Lagginhorn glacier, through where is he? That guy is. That's the normal route pretty much. I was planning to take it all along because that's the one that I researched, and yesterday while I was having dinner there were two English guys. I butted in the conversation to see what they were doing, and it turned out that one of them was a guide, the other one was the client. He eventually asked me what I'm doing, and I told him, and he was like, "Are you going over the glacier?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "People shouldn't use that route anymore because there's a lot of rockfall. If one rock dislodges, it just takes more rocks with it. So then you're exactly in the danger zone down there, and it doesn't matter if you're wearing a helmet or not. If one of those is gonna hit you, it's gonna absolutely wipe you out." It's quite kind of counterintuitive to change my route, especially since I spoke with him I think 1 hour before going to sleep, because I went up here yesterday and I like checked all of this thing out, and this is what I knew, and what he showed me on the map, like I had no idea like the path that led to that, had to do that in the dark as well. But I think sometimes it's just better not to be afraid of that unknown and just like kind of use logic and common sense, and it paid off. Definitely paid off. That's the rescue chopper, nice and early. Going to save someone, no doubt. There must be so many people on all of these mountains around doing all types of different routes. Those guys from the rescue service must be super busy. Oh wow. Whew. It's getting harder now. I'm starting to feel the altitude. Feel like I'm lagging now. Get it? Lagging on the Lagginhorn. Hello. This is ice here. Get in, summit. Nearly there. The water's starting to build little ice particles, which means that it's freezing or below zero. Getting a brain freeze every single time I take a sip. See down there the Weissmies hut, and further down in the valley you can see Saas-Grund. I'm going all the way down there right now. Danny, where are you going? We go back that way, bro.